Hi guys, and welcome to Quinton's Guitar Corner, and in today's episode I'm either going to do something that's going to work out pretty well or be possibly the most stupidest video I've ever done. So I recently obtained a custom built isolation box for my Laboga 2x12 which is sat here. I still enjoy hearing, the recorded push sound that you do get from cabs. As consistent as Kempers are, I do like, feeling that sort of air and whatnot. But, living in the space that I live in, in order to really get the sound that I want to be able to crank the hell out of the cab. So what I did was I contacted NSP Cases to see, if they could build me a guitar isolation box. I went and bought it. I sent it over across the measurements based on the spec of the 2x12 cab. And what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to, with camera audio, I'm going to show you how loud I have this thing at its peak in this place. Normally when we play in rehearsals and we're just going through, whatever 4x12s we have, it's much louder than what I have here. But I'm going to go as loud as I can in this room. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cab, put it in this ISO box, see what kind of tones we can get out of it with the mic, which is now shaking. And see how loud I can actually push it when it's actually in the box. So, just to reiterate, I'm using a Shure SM58. I find that this is pretty well suited for low tuned metal in particular. It's not as bright as a 57, but it does the job, and I quite like it. So, okay, so let's get cracking. Okay, so now it's in the case. The setting volume's not been touched whatsoever. I'm just gonna chug and see if you guys can notice a difference. Okay guys, so now I'm going to basically use my Solar A18C, my Kemper Profiler with the volume, jacked up considerably, into my ISO cab, which is on my left, with a view so you guys can kind of hear how it sounds, and to see if we can get more of a, pushed sound out of the cabinet now that, we've been able to put it in the box with the SM58. So here goes. And there you have it. I mean, that sounds pretty brutal to me. I quite like the fact that I was able to crank that at possibly the loudest point. Just to put it into context, the volume that I started off with before it was in the ISO was on Kemper. It's a little bit weird in terms of how I read it, but the monitor volume was set at -60, and in here I've got it at -30. So almost double, I guess, depending on how you, if you consider it in terms of number terms, and it feels considerably lower. I can feel a lot more low end. I can feel the notes still run right through me. The tone here is not picking up the guitar strings, and the cab is literally, I don't know, half a meter away from me. So I quite dig it. I dig this setup. I really do feel as though I'm able to get the best out of both worlds, within the digital and the kind of analog setup. I'm actually feeling as though I'm getting closer to kind of understanding, especially with 8 strings, what characteristics are sort of required to get some semblance of a tone that A, fits the band, and 2, it won't destroy people's ears necessarily. Dialing in a 6-string guitar tone is completely different to an 8-string. I've never really worked with 7s so much, but like between 6 and 8s, it's so different, I find. It's great. I feel really, really happy that I've actually been able to get this. I would, if you've got the space, and while there are other products out there on the market and you do like that kind of sound, I would definitely recommend the idea of getting an isolated sound box with a mixer separate to that, so you can do any sort of EQ tweaks before you go into your DAW. And yeah, it feels good. I'm looking forward to using this more on Red Method tracks moving forward, and I'm really liking the fact that the Laboga cabs are absolutely smashing it at the moment, in terms of what my needs are. So let's hope for more. I'm looking forward to using this in more videos for sure. Okay guys, well thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comments boxes below if there's anything you want to particularly talk about. You can always subscribe to my channel, or you can find me on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter at Quinton's Guitar Corner. I hope you guys are all staying safe and well, and here's to a great week for all of you. Cheers.